Welcome back to the call slip.
My name's Bryce.
And my name's Haley. Do you have the summary of the book?
No.
Well, this week on the call slip, we read Dragon Teeth by Michael Crichton.
Let me pull it up.
All right, we're pulling up the summary. What do you give the book?
Probably 3.5.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't really horror.
No.
I would say, I don't know, I wasn't super into it. It was a very quick read. What?
Nothing.
I don't know. I guess between like a 2 and a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the summary is, the year is 1876. Warring Indian tribes still populate America's western territories, even as lawless gold rush towns begin to mark the landscape. In much of the country, it is still illegal to espouse evolution. Against this backdrop, two monomaniacal paleontologists pillage the Wild West.
What a mouthful.
That's not... hunting for dinosaur fossils while surveying, deceiving, and sabotaging each other in a rivalry that will come to be known as the Bone Wars. Into this treacherous territory plunges the arrogant and entitled William Johnson, a Yale student with more privilege than sense. Determined to survive a summer in the West, to win a bet against his arch-rival, William has joined the world-renowned paleontologist Othniel? How did they say it?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Charles Marsh on his latest expedition. But when the paranoid and secretive Marsh becomes convinced that William is spying for his nemesis, Edward Drinker Cope, he abandons him in Cheyenne, Wyoming, a locus of crime and vice. William is forced to join forces with Cope and soon stumbles upon a discovery of historic proportions. With this extraordinary treasure, however, comes exceptional danger, and William's newfound resilience will be tested in his struggle to protect his cache, which pits him against some of the West's most notorious characters. Drawing on both meticulously researched history and exuberant imagination, Dragon Teeth is based on a rivalry between real-life paleontologists Cope and Marsh. In William Johnson, readers will find an inspiring hero only Michael Crichton could have imagined. Perfectly placed and brilliantly plotted, this enormously winning adventure is destined to become another Crichton classic.
I would not call William Johnson a hero.
No?
But that's just me. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't call him a hero in my eyes. I think he's just the main character of the story. But I wouldn't call him a hero.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that more later, but,
yeah.
Spoilers ahead.
If you want to read this book, come back to listen. And if you don't want to read this book, continue listening on.
Okay, so now I can say I think he was a hero. I mean, he brought the dinosaur bones back. That they didn't get to retrieve.
Just because he brought the dinosaur bones back doesn't mean that he's a hero.
But okay, sure. Okay.
He killed that one guy.
Because they were breaking into his room to kill him.
That's true.
And he didn't mean to.
That's true. I don't know.
So I guess kind of like a quick, short summary of the book would be, this entitled Yale kid
who lied about being a photographer.
He takes on a bet that he can't make it in the Wild West, and so he takes on a bet, and then the easiest way to get there was to join a paleontological group, and Marsh's group was all full, so he lied and said he was a photographer, and he learned the skills so that he could go on this expedition with them. Marsh gets really suspicious of him.
He's just suspicious in everybody in general.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely very suspicious. Yeah. He gets suspicious, and he leaves him behind in Wyoming, where he then gets picked up by Cope's group, which is who Marsh is pretty much suspicious of the whole time. Yeah. So then he goes with Cope's group. They end up going. They find bones, and then they take half of the bones with them back to...
They were going back to back to the East Coast of what, Philly? Or Pittsburgh. Philly?
Philly.
Philly.
And then they get half of the bones to like a midway point, I think, and then
The train, right?
some of them go back so that he can get the rest of the bones.
Mm-hmm.
But then he gets separated from the group, and a bunch of people die, and there's a bunch of things happening. But it takes him months and months, but he does actually end up getting those last of the bones back to Professor Cope in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then...
Who has a private collection of dinosaur bones.
It's his private collection. But he goes through lots of harrowing trials where people think he's lying and they think there's gold in the boxes instead of dinosaur bones because they don't believe that he actually has bones in those boxes.
I will say this wasn't how I thought the book was going to go.
I didn't either.
Like, I thought a lot of it was going to be about paleontology and, like, figuring out what... And not even just figuring out what the animals belong to, but just... like a majority of the story be about paleontology and like collecting bones and like the more of a rival between Marsh and Cope where you do see that, but I feel like there should have been more. And I feel like we were left hanging. You know, at the end it's more of just like, oh, he brought the bones back. They were never seen because they were in Cope's private collection really until he died.
Yeah.
And Marsh is mad at him. So,
well, I will point out, too, that this was a book that was not released during Michael Crichton's lifetime.
Yes.
This was something he wrote, but then he never actually published while he was alive.
So it was published in 2017.
Yeah.
But written in what, like the 70s?
I think that was what it said, yeah.
So, yeah, it just wasn't what I expected. I thought there was going to be more action between the two. You really only see action between Cope and Marsh at like the one dinner that they're having in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, right after they found dinosaur bones, both of them. They have
and that's
dinner.
really it. So,
well, and then he tries to sneak back into the camp. Marsh tries to sneak back into the camp to steal the bones from Cope.
And Cope, shoots a gun at him.
It is a really short read,
and it was very quick.
It was very fast paced.
The first few chapters are a little slow. It's just a lot of backstory and history. But once that, it picks up very quickly, and it's a very quick read. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character? I guess.
No, not really.
Okay.
I think in the story, though, he really wants you to believe that Marsh is kind of the bad guy. Other than, you know, the obvious wild west, in quotes, bad guys.
Yeah. Or Native Americans, even.
I don't even really feel like he necessarily painted them in a bad light, because I feel like a couple of times it was also mentioned that, like, this is their land and we're taking them off of it. Like,
well, they also did say just like, oh, I think it was the Sioux that are moving, south or north for the winter or something. It
was the party that killed Colonel
killed
Mustard or whatever.
Yeah, but they were like,
Custer.
oh, well, they'll like skin you alive and eat you. And I was just like, what are we, like, we knew nothing about Native Americans, and I wish there was more.
You didn't even catch that, did you?
Custard.
No, I said Colonel Mustard, like from Clue.
I just wish I wish there was more on, like, the Native American side, and, like, obviously we don't know the entire story, and there's other things that he didn't know in the 70s, and we know more now, even after it's been released. But, you know, writing this book in the 70s and then not being released till 17, I know you don't want to rewrite it, but I wish there could have been more. But yeah.
I don't know.
More historical knowledge.
I guess.
But, I mean, what are you, it was written so long ago, and yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I like Michael Crichton.
I thought it was weird that he buried the bones on top of the Native American's body.
No, he buried the bones under the Native American.
Yeah, but
I thought it was weird that he kept digging him up.
Yeah, I was like, that's a no-no. Also, I would never,
But he didn't dig up the white guy.
No. Well, that's because he was buried in the cemetery.
Oh,
they wouldn't let him they wouldn't let the Native American be buried in the cemetery.
That's true.
So they had to bury him on the side of the road.
Well, he mentioned too that he was like, I never thought that I would be burying the same guy 3 times.
I know.
And I was like, that's a little excessive. Maybe we don't do that.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, did we go through? Do you have a favorite character?
No,
I don't think we.
I don't really have a favorite character.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I think that's when I started talking about how Marsh is supposed to be the bad guy. He makes you want to side with Cope through this whole thing because he really makes Marsh look very like paranoid and out to get people. And you know, he tries to get Cope arrested a couple of times. He tries to sabotage the whole party multiple times.
Well, I will say, Marsh was never said in this book to have found any fossils, though. And he was just trying to... Marsh said multiple times that the bones that Cope found were his. So I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
He is essentially just like...
He was stealing.
He was stealing the bones, and I was like, wait a second, like, that doesn't make any sense. So...
Well, and he was trying to take bones from the camp that night, too.
Yes. So I'm like, has he actually found bones, or is he just somebody that's looting other people? Is he like looting from other people's campsites, and he actually hasn't found any bones in real life? Like, who, you know, like, we don't actually know.
I do have some history, some real life history. So
okay, but has he actually found bones in real life?
In real life, yes.
Are we sure he hasn't just looted other people's campsites?
Well, this is from PBS, so I trust them.
Okay.
Do you not trust PBS?
No, I do. Currently, I'm not sure, but
Well, I don't have a date on this, so
okay.
Sorry.
Okay, let's
but
hear some history. I'm gonna
assume it was before things happened.
Let's hear some history.
I am gonna try to summarize, so we'll see what happens.
Do you need to read it before we?
No, I already read it.
Okay.
It kind of just introduces the two of them.
Okay.
They came from different backgrounds, but they ended up having a mutual disdain for one another.
Does it say why? Because they were both paleontologists in the same
no,
area?
it kind of, yes and no.
Oh, didn't they say something in the book about a wife and the one wife left Marsh for Cope?
Maybe, but
or
I don't know if that's
actually true.
That was probably embellished.
That was probably, just because for drama in a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Marsh was born in 1831 in New York.
Okay.
And then his mother died, his dad raised him, and he was a field hand on a farm. So they worked on the family farm, I guess. He showed interest in science as a boy. His millionaire uncle, George Peabody, was able to finance him getting off.
Peabody was his uncle?
Yeah, that was his uncle.
Wow, that's why he's rich.
Yeah, was able to finance him getting off of the family farm and going to Yale. And then later a graduate student in Germany. So then...
That's why.
Cope was born in 1840, so
okay.
9 years later. He had a wealthy family, so he was already born into wealth.
Well, I mean, technically so was Marsh, just not his direct
uncle,
parents.
Yeah. And then at 18, Cope published his first scholarly article while working as a researcher at the Academy of Natural Sciences.
Okay, that's
Sciences. Cool. So in 1863, to avoid Cope being drafted into the Civil War, Cope's father sent his son to Germany to study natural history. This is where Cope and Marsh actually met.
Interesting.
And it does say that in the book. It does talk about them not wanting to be in the Civil War, so they end up going to Germany.
Wow.
Upon their return in 1864, which is only a year later, Cope and Marsh maintained their amicable relationship.
Yeah, sure.
Cope named a fossil after Marsh, and then...
How nice of him.
Marsh then named one after Cope. And...
One that he found or one that he stole?
It just says...
all these paleontologists are going to come for me.
He just named it after Cope.
Okay.
Okay, so then it kind of goes into... In trying to be friends, Cope found, I guess, a quarry in New Jersey, and he showed it to Marsh. And then behind Cope's back, Marsh made an agreement with the quarry owner that any of the new fossils that were found would be directly sent to him at Yale.
All right, so Marsh is actually the real villain. He's actually true.
It says Cope would later describe this act as the beginning of the end of their friendship.
Oh my God, dun dun dun.
Simultaneously, in 1868, Cope rushed to publish findings on a new species of plesiosaur that had been shipped to his office from the army surgeon in Kansas. He just kind of named it Elasmosaurus platyurus. So nothing after Marsh.
Well, you can't name everything after one person.
Well, no, but this is kind of where I guess they stopped trying to be
Friends.
nice to one another.
What I'm hearing is Marsh stole things and actually was just stealing things.
Well,
in
you're
general.
not there yet. Hold on. So during the reconstruction of this animal that he found and he published about, he actually articulated the skeleton incorrectly.
Oh.
So he had the vertebrae backwards.
Oh, okay.
And he ended up actually putting the skull at the end of the tail.
Oh, interesting. Cope?
Yes. Cope. Okay. Yes. And so when Marsh actually went to this museum where it was located, he saw it and immediately was like, oh, that's backwards. That's not what it's supposed to look like. Embarrassed, Cope quickly published a correction and even tried to purchase all of the known copies of American Philosophical Society Journal with the error, but the damage had already been done. I'm sorry
he can't be an expert on where bones go.
I mean, to be fair, they're all just kind of guessing.
That's true. So I get it.
They don't know what these animals look like.
We still don't know what these animals look like.
I mean, it's true.
But also, Cope could have just been like, hey, Fran, I think this is wrong.
Well, no, it was Marsh that said that.
Oh, yeah, Marsh. Marsh could have been like, yeah, but he was probably like, this is wrong, and he probably publicly shamed him.
Yeah, they did.
But I should have just been like, hey, Fran.
Okay, well, of course he's going to try to publicly humiliate Cope whenever he can.
I just think Marsh is the bad guy. There's no way that you could... You're telling me more information about him being a bad guy.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So, the rivalry intensified as they headed west to hunt for fossils.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because that is an actual thing that they do.
Yep.
Marsh divided his attention between recovering as many fossils as possible and in the yet unexplored region, and his constant dread of Cope might retrieve a share of bones of equal quantity of interest.
Okay. So Marsh actually did find bones. Finally.
Marsh even went so far as to have spies track Cope's progress.
Yeah.
Referring to Cope as the codename Jones.
Yeah, he tried to have him arrested in the book. Well, no, he did get arrested in the book. And then he also thinks that Johnson was dead.
Well, he didn't...
He told Johnson's father that he was dead.
Marsh?
Yeah.
Cope wrote his parents to tell him that he was dead.
Oh, yes, because...
But why? Was it because he didn't come back?
He didn't come back.
Yeah, yes, he didn't come back from getting the bones.
Yeah, and he had to, prove to his father that he was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, back to the actual history. Cope, kept trying to put out findings and publishings in academic journals and kept just trying to get ahead of Marsh, I guess, on a lot of these. He purchased the American Naturalist Journal in 1877.
Cope did?
That's what it says.
Wow.
Going further, in an effort to ensure his work got recognized, Cope purchased the American Naturalist Journal in 1877. And then in between 1879 and 1880, Cope published 76 academic papers.
In a year?
Yeah,
wow.
that's a year.
That's a lot.
A small percentage of the 1,400 articles he would write over the course of his lifetime, making him one of the most prolific authors of American scientific history. In just a few years, the number of known dinosaur species jumped from a small handful to more than 100.
All right, you're reading from it directly.
Well, that one, yeah. But I got this from PBS, so they're under their dinosaur rivalry page.
Okay. Dinosaur rivalry.
It is. That's what it's called. It's the O.C. Marsh and E.D. Cope A Rivalry American Experience on PBS.
Okay.
Let's see. So Marsh then was like, all right, I got to use every single thing that I possibly can to try to get ahead of Cope. So in 1882, he used his superior connections to political and political skills in Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
to become the chief paleontologist of the newly formed U.S. Geological Survey. So it was true, like, in the book, because it talks about how he has friends in high places, so that was pretty true.
Yeah.
Marsh then essentially got tons of institutional support to do what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He had access to federal funds. He gained a significant amount of political power. And then his first order of business essentially was to try to isolate Cope.
But Cope was rich.
So he cut off the government funding for Cope. And then because like that's essentially what paleontologists rely on funding.
Yes.
That's just it. Either it's private or, federal.
But he was already rich, so it didn't really.
Well, so Cope attempted to make up the loss by having a silver mining venture in New Mexico, but he lost everything instead of it actually gaining any funds. So in 1890, he separated from his wife and child, and Cope was living alone in a small Philadelphia apartment. So I don't know if that has anything to do with what they were talking about in the book of his wife leaving him or what. But his fossil collection was all he had at that point in his life.
They did say he lived in like an area and like he lived at that building in just like a smaller area of it.
Yeah.
So.
But according to PBS, Marsh then made a fatal mistake.
Ooh.
He attempted to take Cope's fossils, claiming that they were collected with federal money and thus belonged to the government. However, Cope fought back and was like, actually, no, I paid for all of this and I can prove it. And he, proved that the collecting funds came out of his own pocket.
Okay.
And then he was like, actually, no, I'm going to try to destroy you.
Okay.
To Marsh. So, Cope had been collecting information about Marsh for years. It says he collected records of nefarious, underhanded dealings and accusations of scientific impropriety and that he used against Marsh. He turned them over to a freelance journal at the New York Herald, an eager purveyor of scandals.
Mm-hmm.
The headline read, "Scientists wage bitter warfare." Set off a huge thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the public battle, it says, lasted 2 weeks, and they fired accusations at one another. Marsh and his allies at the U.S. Geological Survey were publicly accused of corruption, incompetence, and misuse of government funds. And then Congress investigated and eventually slashed the funding for the survey and eliminated the Department of Paleontology along with Marsh's position altogether.
Oh, wow.
And that included most of his income.
Mm.
So, as a final indignity, the Smithsonian demanded that Marsh turn over a large portion of his fossil collection, some of which had in fact been collected on government funds.
Mm.
So after Marsh was unable to take Cope's collection and all of this stuff happened, Cope tried to find a bidder to buy his fossil collection that he spent over 20 years collecting.
Yeah.
Someone at the American Museum of Natural History bid $32,000 for part of the collection. And then in 1897, Cope became ill and died at 57.
Wow.
So then in 1899, at the age of 67, Marsh actually died from pneumonia with just $186 in his bank account. And I did a little calculator, and today, in 2026, that would be $7,639.
So how much is the $32,000 for the part of the collection?
I didn't look that one up. Okay, so we looked it up. Well,
yes.
You looked it up.
I looked it up. So the $32,000 that somebody paid for part of Cope's collection would be about like $1.28 million today.
Okay. I mean, that's
for part of your collection. That's pretty good.
For part of it. That's not bad. Cope left behind 13,000 specimens, and Marsh's comparable collection proved to be the best support of the theory of evolution, according to a letter from Charles Darwin himself.
Okay.
So, It sounds like, I mean, then this sounds like it's pretty much just an overview. I'm sure.
There's a lot more that happened, obviously.
I'm sure they wrote nasty letters back and forth to one another.
Oh, yeah. All I can imagine is, have you seen Hamilton? Like the
No.
musical Hamilton? Oh, you need to watch it. But there's a conversation between Hamilton and Aaron Burr, and in the musical, it's like them just going back and forth, and it's like A. Ham, A. Burr, and it's going back and forth, and I'm just like, this is hilarious, and I feel like that's what would happen between them,
They're
and
they're like,
Cope,
hello, I hate you,
Marsh. Yes, I feel like that would be what it would do.
You're the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't find bones.
Well, it's funny. It's like, I am slow to anger or something like that. And I'm just like, this is so hilarious in Hamilton.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm just like, just how they word it. Because, like, obviously wording was different back then.
Yeah.
But they were more poised with their writing. But they wouldn't just be like, I hate you. It would more be like, recently. And they go off this long tangent to essentially just say, I hate you. But, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Okay.
So lots of things learned from Cope and Marsh.
Yeah. I mean, they even with the rivalry, they still did have quite a lot of scientific finds, and they really furthered the research in paleontology and, science with evolution of these animals. So I think that's really cool. But they also were kind of in a time where they were just finding these bones, and they're like, what is this?
What is this? What do we do with this?
And it was kind of like, the golden age of finding dinosaur bones. So, I mean, they still do it today. It's just not as...
Now they're...
crazy?
I feel like nowadays, I'm sure they're still looking for bones, but now it's like we're looking for, like, Cleopatra's tomb, you know?
I think they've already found that.
They have not found Cleopatra's tomb, I believe. I think they said...
I feel like I heard they have an idea of
They have an idea of where it is, but they haven't actually found her specific tomb.
Why are we trying to open all their tombs? Why can't we just leave these people alone?
That's a great question. It remains undiscovered.
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing that a person could do was die.
Yeah, anyway, we could go down the whole thing of Cleopatra. But they have not found it. But, do you think, how does this book compare to other books of Michael Crichton?
It's different, for sure. It's shorter, certainly. Yeah. I feel like
I mean, this is our second Michael Crichton book. Even the first one, Congo wasn't that long either, though.
No. But I think some of his other ones are longer. I think this one, though, was shorter than Congo. I feel like it was.
I don't remember. I feel like they could have been similar in time.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like...
I will say I read Congo and I listened to this book.
Yeah, I did too.
So I don't actually know how long it took me.
I'm not sure. But I feel like it's good. It does have the suspense that you kind of recognize.
And it definitely was not what I was expecting.
It's got some twists, which I enjoy from his books too. It was kind of just like it felt almost like a short story. Even though I know it's a novel.
You definitely could have expanded a lot on it. Like, a lot more on it.
Right. And I do think it was completed. It was a complete manuscript. So I think they just went ahead and published it afterwards because they found it.
Did you like any phrases or highlight any, like, passages or bookmark anything from it?
No, but I did think it was funny where he would throw in the little lines of, like, and he would never come back this way again, and, like, kind of throw you...
Or, like, later he would find out that Cope was not this nice, or something like that. Yeah, and I'm like, this is interesting.
I'm like, ooh, and the plot thickens.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked that part of it. What about you?
I think the biggest thing, I was just like, I don't know, I feel like I did think Marsh was the villain in it, but I'm also... he portrays him like the villain, so...
I feel like pretty immediately you're like, ooh, something's off about him.
With him. Yeah, he's, like, suspicious. He's, like...
He wouldn't even let him, like, walk out of the room without an escort because he was worried he was going to go through his stuff. Did you have a favorite character? I think we forgot to ask you that.
I don't think so, but you know who I didn't like? Oh gosh, what was her name? Was it Emily?
Oh, yeah.
The girl who he met in the girl who they met in Deadwood, or who ended up coming to Deadwood after him, but was hired by one of the bad men in Deadwood, and then she's like traveling with him, and she just is like, she ends up like, who knows if this is actually true, but she ends up like being part of like politics in DC.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, is that even true? Like, is that even who this person is?
I think she was a con woman.
Yeah. And she tried to get information from Johnson.
Well,
and
she was hired to get information on whether or not there were bones in the crate.
Yeah. And she was just like, oh, they're actual bones.
Yeah. She was like super disappointed when she found out there was real bones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very weird. But I didn't like her.
When she got him thrown in jail, she then tried to sell him, but nobody wanted him because they were bones.
Yeah, she got him thrown in jail, and I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah. I think she thought that she was going to be able to get money off of him.
But she couldn't.
Yeah, and it didn't work out that way because they were bones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In a time where people probably didn't even fully know about dinosaurs.
Yeah, people were like, why do you have bones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a character you didn't like?
I wasn't crazy about the cook.
He was weird.
He annoyed me.
He's probably just like some line cook that was like, yeah, sure, I'll come, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like he lied. Because he told him, like, oh, yeah, I can cook all of this stuff. And then he was like, yeah, you get beans.
I know. And beans. And more beans. And beans.
Which, to be fair, I guess at the time they are traveling by wagon.
And there's only so much, like, it's not like you can...
Yeah, you can't,
you have
like,
to
refrigerate anything.
You have to hunt for food.
Yeah.
Or at least your meat part. Beans and rice are the easiest thing to cook, and they keep sustenance. So.
Well, and they keep for long periods of time, too.
Yes,
so.
Exactly.
I don't ever want to be in that situation.
No.
If you had to time travel back in time, like where...
Oh, back in time?
Yeah, back in time. Where would your sweet spot be?
You know, would you say the dinosaur age so you could just chill with the dinosaurs?
Oh, it depends. I mean, I would love to be able to see the dinosaurs, but I don't think I would last very long.
I think, first of all, I wouldn't want to be in North America.
Okay, sure, you can be wherever you want to be.
I would probably go to, like, it's probably England and be, like, a lady of the court or something.
Yeah?
I'd be like, yeah, sure, I can sit here and be, like, fan myself.
You know how gross they were?
I know. I watch Bridgerton.
It's worse than that.
I know. I don't know. What would you do?
They romanticize it in Bridgerton.
They really do, because everything's, like, so cute. But, like, they're dirty.
They would have smelled. They would literally go to a corner and use the bathroom. And then they would all just still sit in the room.
I know.
That's nasty. And then they would throw it out the window?
I don't know, man. Where would you go? What time would you... What, you want to go back 10 years?
I want indoor plumbing at minimum.
At minimum? Okay, I get that.
I need indoor plumbing
So what?
minimum.
You need at least the 30s? 1930s, right? When did indoor plumbing? 30s?
I don't know.
When did indoor plumbing become a thing? I don't know. I will say my dad's old and he did not have it growing up. They had an outhouse outside.
Yeah, my great-grandmother did too.
So like the 50s?
I don't know. I don't feel like the 50s would be very fun for a woman.
Common. 30s to the 50s. Didn't I say 30 to 50? Didn't I literally say that?
I feel like the 80s would have been fun.
The Roaring 20s, right before all of the wars started.
No, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, because then the Great Depression.
Yeah. Wait, was that... Oh, no, that was before, right? The Great Depression was before.
29.
Yeah, so it was before World War II.
The Roaring 20s. But if you go through the war... If you're there alive through the Roaring 20s, then the Great Depression hits, and then the World War.
Right, but I was just saying that the Depression was before the war.
Yes, before World War II.
Yeah,
I don't think I would want to be alive at the time of World War II, actually.
Doesn't sound fun.
At least, you know what? I'll be Switzerland. I'll live in Switzerland at that point. I'll be neutral.
Okay, if you still had to be in the U.S., though, when would you choose?
Oh, I guess probably the 70s or the 80s.
You're just taking my answer?
I wouldn't want to be in the U.S., so there we go. If I had to be in the U.S., 1650 with the Native Americans. There we go.
Yeah, they probably would have killed you.
That's fine with me.
You probably would have deserved it.
Yeah, probably.
They're trying to hunt, and you're just like, ah! like singing in the woods, and they're like, I'm just gonna kill her.
Yeah. I'd probably eat something and die.
You probably would.
So. Yeah, I'd probably pluck something off the tree or something and be like, this looks good. Eat it. Dead.
You're better with plants than I am, though.
That's true. Yeah.
I just would starve.
No, you would die. They would kill you too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know, I was...
What about time traveling? No, we're getting way off topic anyway, but time traveling to not in the U.S., where would you go and what time? Oh, you know what? What does Australia history look like? Like...
You realize they were all, like, incarcerated people besides the Aboriginals.
Okay, we're not going there.
Yeah. Yeah, they did the same thing
What
in
about
Louisiana.
Japan. I feel like that could be fun. I don't know their history.
Yeah, when? Right around World War II? You think that's a good idea?
Hiroshima. No, that's a bad idea. What is the rest of their history? Like even, I feel like they're so advanced in technology now. Like, we're, like, even 100 years ago, well, that's also bad because you're right, you still got to go through World War II. But, like, what is their technology look like 30 years ago? 40 years ago? In, like, this 80s?
I don't know. They probably look like what we are today.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I was like, they probably look like what we do today.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine, like, yeah, look at how technologically advanced they are. They got, like, bullet trains and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, when you build an infrastructure that's meant for public transportation, and
Yes.
then you leave it that
Well,
way
and
because of the capitalism and the car companies.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, it took them how many days on a train to get out to just Wyoming?
It was a couple of days.
It was a couple of days.
I mean, you can take an Amtrak from one end of the country to the other.
You know what?
It's going to take you, I
I
think,
know.
3 or 4 days.
I just saw that. They were like, you could take a route from New York City to San Francisco. And I was like, no,
because
thank you.
we talked about it to visit my sister.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it would have taken me like 4 days to get
Yeah,
there. And I was like,
yeah.
I don't have the PTO for that.
Yeah, I don't have the time for that. I mean, I'm sure it's a gorgeous
Oh, I would
drive.
love to do it.
Yeah.
If I was only doing that, you know?
Yeah.
If I didn't have
Just go there and come
a
back.
reason, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not?
Yeah. Did this book, like, change your perspective on anything that was, like, happening throughout that time?
I don't think so. I kind of vaguely already knew about the rivalry between Cope
Okay.
and Marsh. And, you know, just basic American history. I knew all of the things that we've done to, you know, the Native Americans.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
I don't feel like there was too much that was a surprise.
Okay. I feel like I didn't know about Cope and Marsh. I guess I'm not huge in paleontology, so, but I feel like it's definitely interesting and I would like to learn more. So I feel like I would,
What kind of kid were you?
like, a dirt kid? Like, I ate dirt?
No. The space. What was it? Space, ocean, and dinosaurs or something?
Oh, I was the ocean kid. I had the Lisa Frank stuff.
Oh, really? I was
Yeah.
a dinosaur kid.
Yeah. I was also, like...
Are you shocked?
I was a girly girl as a kid. I did dance. I liked tea parties. Yeah, I was a girly girl.
Did you actually drink tea?
No, it's probably just juice. I don't remember.
I boiled some Gatorade.
Ooh. No, remember
Oh,
the
you
little...
don't watch The Office.
Remember
do
the
you?
little Huggies that come in, like those
That
drinks
looks
that
like
come
the
in the
barrel?
barrel? Yeah,
Yeah.
those were those were great. And the Kool-Aid bottles that had the little
Oh, the twisty
twist
tops?
offs?
Yeah,
Those
I did
were
like
good.
those.
Yeah, those were good. Did you know you should have kept the top and you could turn it over and it, like, stopped it from coming out?
You think it lasted that long?
No, it lasted 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I just squeezed the whole thing into my mouth. But yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then there was those wax candies. Do you remember those? The bottle wax candies?
Oh, I hated those. I never was.
Anyway, I was an ocean kid
Mm.
and wanted the ocean. Yeah, you were the dinosaur kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Give me a fun fact about sharks.
what, you want, like, a basic one where, like, they can never stop swimming?
I don't know, just fun fact.
I mean, they're all
Whatever.
cartilaginous.
We already knew that.
I don't know.
Try again.
All right, come back. We'll come back to this in the next discussion of shark facts. What do you think happens to the characters after the novel concludes?
I think.
They die.
Well, what year did it, like, end on? Did it say?
Oh, wait, yes, it does. Because I have something written down with 76, because it was 87, or it was 1875 to 1876, because that was the time frame of the two photos that was taken of Johnson.
So, 76?
Yeah.
So that's actually right around the time that Cope published that journal.
Oh, okay.
He purchased the journal.
Okay.
And then he started publishing academic papers like crazy.
Okay.
So I guess they got back from their expedition.
And things went downhill from there.
Well, I mean, it's been going downhill.
Yeah.
But I guess at that point he was like, all right, well, now I really have to prove. That's when it kind of kicked off. And he's like, now I really have to prove to Marsh who's best. So he starts publishing papers.
Yeah. I will say, I wasn't finished reading this book. And you were like, oh, Johnson dies. And I was like,
It said that in the beginning.
yeah, but then I got to the end of the book and I was like, Johnson didn't die.
No, it said that in the beginning. It said that he would never see Philadelphia alive again or something like that.
I wonder if it was more of just like an innuendo, or I don't even know.
Like he wouldn't see it alive
the
as
same
he was.
way. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I was like waiting for like the shoe to drop and like him to die, and I was like, he never dies. I was like, okay, the bones go back and all of this, and I was like, what happened? And then I was like, well, I guess I'll wait for you to get to the end until we discuss it.
Well, I think it makes sense though, because technically he did send that letter to his family saying that he was dead. And his
Cope
family
sent
Yeah, so everybody thought that Johnson was dead, so that kind of makes sense now too in saying that he was dead.
Yeah. Oh, and then I liked the end of the book where he gets back and he goes to school, and he walks up to the guy who he made a bet with, and he was like, "You owe me money." Mm-hmm. And then the guy was like, "No, I don't." Like,
it was a joke.
It was a joke, and then he like was like, "You owe me money," and like threatens this guy, and he like holds him by the neck, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just kept saying, "You owe me money."
You owe me money.
Till he gave it to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, he does. He owes him money. He made a bet.
Mm-hmm. And he fulfilled that debt, even though it took him a little longer than,
Yeah, he came back, though.
He came back?
Because I think the bet was that he wouldn't come back alive. Maybe, or something like that.
Maybe, or
something. That he couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it, yeah. He wouldn't make it out back.
He wouldn't come back.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but...
Would you recommend it to somebody?
Yeah, I actually think my dad would like this book.
Does your dad know how to read?
Shut up. Yeah, he does. He actually reads a lot.
I know.
That's my mom doesn't read. That's who I get the reading from my dad.
Well, your mom's a saint, so.
She is a saint, so yeah. Anyway, yes. Yeah, no, I actually, like, I feel like there would be a lot of people who would like this book.
I think so. Mm. And it's short, so, it doesn't feel like too much of a investment of time.
No, yeah. Just isn't my cup of tea, but it wasn't bad.
But this is not the dinosaur book that I've been asking you to read.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to it. We got other books to read first.
This is just one that I convinced you to read because the audiobook was only like 8 hours.
Pretty much. Yeah. All right. Do we have anything else? Any last words?
I don't think so.
Well, if you like this, come back. If you don't like this, good for you.
Still come back.
Still come back, please.
We'll talk about other things.
Yeah, we'll talk about other things. Maybe more dinosaurs and shark facts next time.
Ooh.
we should review a picture book of sharks.
What? A picture book? It's a podcast.
I'm tired. So it's been a long day. We should review a shark book. We gotta do a shark book.
Jaws?
Ooh. And how accurate it is. And the animatronics from the movie.
Accurate? Like actually?
Yeah. Like factually.
Okay.
And scientifically. Ooh, or we could talk about the Meg. Have you seen that? Have you seen the movie?
Yes, I've seen the movie. Yes, I've seen the Meg.
Interesting.
I saw the second one too.
Yes, I've seen the second one too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Come back. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube at The Call Slip. Shoot us an email, thecallslip@gmail.com.
If you want us to read something.
Yeah, suggestions. We've got quite a bit of on our list, but we're working through them. Yeah.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.